So good afternoon students, good afternoon to one and all. I welcome you all to this C programming lecture. As I promised yesterday, okay, so now we are going live on YouTube. Okay, so the same class you can listen on YouTube if your friends are there. Okay, so you can watch them on YouTube. We are going live on YouTube. Okay, so on YouTube also, if there is any problem on YouTube audio, okay, just you can even uh, message me in YouTube live chat. Okay, in YouTube live chat also you can message me. I'll be just sending a message to you. Send me a message about audio and video. Everything is clear. Then I'll proceed to the class. Good afternoon, Abhi. Good afternoon, Pranjal. Clear? Thank you, Pranjal. Yes, clear. Neelam, Deepak, Rachala, Akshay. Okay, I can see. Okay, so all your messages. Very good, friends. Very good. Everything is clear. Okay, so that means we are successful because if more than 100, 150 number increases in our Zoom class, okay, Zoom supports Yeah, hope it is clear now. Music gone. Is it clear now? Music? Music gone. Still running. Music is still running. Yeah, 1 second. I switched off the music. So we'll do one thing. Yeah, hope now it is gone. Yes, okay, right. Thank you all of you, Pranjal, Hari Krishna, Ramakrishna, Nagashiva, everyone. Okay, so thank you for your support and timely information. Okay, right. So we declared three variables a, b and third variable name average to store the result. Okay, so then we assigned a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20 we assigned, yes or no. Okay, so then even we declared one more variable, I think sum also we declared. Okay, so sum and average, four variables. Okay, so first we calculated sum, yes or no. So sum is equals to a plus b, sum is equals to a plus b, this is how we did. Okay, so then we said average is equals to sum divided by 2, average is equals to sum divided by 2. Then we printed the result by using printf statement, say printf. Okay, so then you can print like this, average is equals to. Okay, so here we need to use format specifier percentage %d where the value has to be printed. Okay, so then comma given the variable name average. So this is what we discussed yesterday. Okay, right. So straight away one more time I will execute, then what is the problem in this program, let us discuss today, so that you will get more and more concepts, how the computer is doing calculations, that we should understand. Okay, so the way we think whether the computer also performs the same kind of calculation, we need to understand. Okay, friends. Okay, then. So here I am executing this program. Okay, so click on the run button. Now you can see compiling your code, average is equal to 15. Okay, so 10 plus 20, 30, sum value is 30, then sum divided by 30 by 2 is 15. Okay, so 15 it has printed. There is no problem in this program, you may be thinking. Right? Okay, but if I change this a, b values, both are even numbers, no? So if I change this C, for example, if I give here 7 and b value as 8, now I am changing the a and b values. Okay, a value is 7 and b value is 8, I am assigning. Okay, so again I compile the code, So if I compile the code again, what happens we need to understand. Now again I am running the code. Now this time you can see average is equals to 7. Average is equals to 7. Okay, so that means sum it has calculated, sum is equal to a plus b, 7 plus 8, 15. Okay, then average is equal to 15 by 2. Then it is supposed to be 7.5, you may be thinking. Okay, so but it has printed 7 only. It has printed 7 only. Okay. Oops, something went wrong. Okay. So something went wrong, or is it the way computer doing calculation? We need to understand. Okay. So you may be expecting a average is equal to 7.5, but computer has given the result as a 7. Given the result as a 7. Okay. So what happened internally, that we need to understand. That we need to understand. Okay, friends. So let me move to white screen so that you can understand the concepts clearly. Okay. So just I am switching to this screen. Right. So see here, what is happening, we need to learn, we need to understand very clearly, friends. Okay. So here I will tell you the things that are happening behind the scene. Okay. So we declared a value as a 7, then b value we have given as a 8. Yes or no? Okay. So then we calculated a sum value as a plus b. A plus b we have calculated sum value as. Okay. So assume this is the memory allocated for a sum. This is the memory allocated for sum, and there is another variable average. Okay. Average is equals to sum divided by 2, we said. Sum divided by 2. Okay. So assume this is the memory allocated for the variable average. Yes. Okay. So now when this statement is executed, sum is equal to a plus b, 7 plus 8, 15. No doubt the value 15 will be stored in this variable sum. Okay. When it comes to this statement, average is equal to sum by 15. That means internally how this calculation will happen? It is nothing but 15 divided by 2. It is nothing but 15 divided by 2. Okay. So here you need to understand how the computer performs this division. Okay. So you are expecting a value of 7.5 here. Okay. But we didn't get a 7.5. Okay. So what is happening, we need to understand how the division is carried out by the computer. I will tell you today. So look at the screen carefully. Okay. Understand the concepts. That means computer performs the division. That means 15 is divided with 2 here. Okay. So how it performs the division means 2 sevens. Okay. So then 14. 2 sevens 14. Then 5 minus 1 is 4 is 1. Remainder 1. Okay. So it won't proceed further. That means by in mathematics what we do, we put a decimal point here, then we add 0 here, then 2 5s are 15, 2 5s are 10, then we'll say that it is 7.5 we say in mathematics. Okay. But here the computer performs division operation only up to this point only. Okay. So this forward slash is called division operator, Please remember, in programming this forward slash is called as a division operator. That means to perform division we have to use this operator forward slash. Okay. So after performing the division, what this forward slash gives? This forward slash gives, there are different things in the division process. Just see here, there are different things in the division process. Okay. So this is called remainder, and this is called a quotient. Okay. So this is called divisor and this is dividend. Okay. This is divisor, this is dividend. Okay. But we are concerned about this these two things, quotient and remainder. Okay. So when you say 15 by 2, computer performs division operation only up to this point. See here, friends, it performs division up to only this point only it performs the division. Up to this point only it performs the division. Okay, so this division will be carried out. Okay, so that means 7 will be the quotient and 1 will be the remainder. It stops. Okay, so this forward slash gives quotient. It returns the quotient. After performing the division, when you use this forward slash, it gives the quotient after. Okay, so what is the quotient? 7. So that's why that 7 will be stored in a average, variable average, and when you print on the screen, average is equal to, like this you have printed, no? So when you print on the screen, say average is equals to percentage D, say new line, comma, AVG. This is how you have written the statement. Okay, so that's why we got the answer as a 7. Average is equals to 7. Message is also there, no? So message is also printed. Average is equals to 7. We got the answer. Okay, but we are expecting 7.5. Okay, so now you can ask the question, why it has stopped, sir, why it has not proceeded, and why it has not given 7.5 as answer. Yes or no? Okay, right? Why it has not given 7.5 as answer? Brackets, I will come back. Okay, right. Now, students understand here, understand the concept very carefully. Okay, so just to see here, why it will give only 7, why it will not give 7.5. Okay, so let me tell you clearly. Right. Now, if you see on the screen, that means you have carried out a division like this. Yes or no? You have carried out the division in this form. Okay. So that means 15 by 2 you did. Okay. Now 15 is a number without any decimal point. That means this is integer number. Yes or no? Similarly, 2 is also a number without any decimal point. Okay, so in programming, what we call them as integer. What we call them as integer. Okay, so that means you are doing integer by integer. You are doing the division integer divided by integer. Integer divided by integer. Okay, so when both the operands, this forward slash is called operator and these are called operands. Like say for example, you might have written a statement like this, 2 plus 3 in plus operator. 2 and 3 are called operands and plus is called operator. This we studied. Yes or no? Okay. Similarly, here forward slash is called division operator and these two are called operands. Okay. When both operands are integers, there is a rule. There is a rule in programming. Remember. Okay. So when both operands are integers, when both operands are integers. Okay, so in computer what it will do? The result is also integer. Computer won't calculate as we think. Okay, so the result is also integer. This is the rule you need to remember. This is how the computer performs the calculation. Okay, so if both the operands are integers, then the result is also integer. Okay, so that's why we are getting this output here. We are getting this output here. Okay. We are getting this output here. Okay, just see here. Okay, so what it is doing here, 15 and 2 both are integers only. Okay, integer by integer, that means it performs only integer division. Okay, so it divides 15 with 2 and it stops here. 2 7s are 14, remainder 1. That's it, it stops. This is called integer division. This is called integer division, and whatever present in quotient that will be returned and that will be stored in the variable average. And when you print this variable average here, okay, so that's why you are getting the answer as a 7. You are getting the answer as a 7. Just see here on the screen. Yes or no? Right? Understood the concepts? Understood the concept? Okay? Right? So that's why here the result is a 7. And if we go back to our terminal, then you can see here, you can see the result is a 7. Okay, so come back to our terminal where we have written the program online C compiler. Then we can see the result as a 7. Now you can ask the question, sir, 15 by 2 is 7.5 in mathematics, no? We want the answer in that manner. We want the answer in that manner, you can ask. Okay, so that means 7.5 is a floating point number. Yes or no? 7.5 is a floating point number. Okay, so in that case, you have to declare this variable avg as a floating point type. You have to declare this avg as a floating point type. Okay, so in the next line, what you do is you declare this float variable as a avg as a float type. Okay, so this way you can declare now. A, B and sum are integer variables and float is average type. Float is average type. Float is average type. Okay. Now, when we declare the variables in this form, that means you are informing the compiler what type of data you are going to store in these variables. Okay. So, whenever it allocates memory, then it stores only that type of values in this. It stores only that type of values, that type of that kind of data only it stores in that memory locations. Please remember. Okay, friends. Okay. So now on the white screen, I'll explain you what happens if we declare like this. Now come back to our discussion. Right. Okay. So now you can see what we did. We changed the data types. Okay. So A, B we changed like this. Int A, B, comma sum we declared as integer type. Then average we declared as a float type. Average we declared as a float type. Okay. So that means when the memory is allocated for this variable average, okay, so then by seeing this, this is called a data type. Please remember, int, float, these are called just remember the term. Remember the term. We will discuss about these things in the next classes in detail. Okay. This float, int, these are called as a data types. We call them as a data types. Okay. So then by this data type, compiler understands that I want to store only floating point number in this variable average, and similarly in A, B and sum I have to store only integer numbers. Okay. So this is A and this is B. Okay. Similarly there is a memory for a sum also. Then it stores only integer numbers, without decimal point numbers only it stores. Okay. Now we assign the values now like this. Say int A is equal to 7 and B is equals to 8. Okay. So in A 7 will be stored, in B 8 will be stored. Okay. Then if you say sum is equals to A plus B. Okay. So 7 plus 8 15, 15 will be stored in a sum. Okay, then if you calculate average here, now you see here average is equals to sum divided by 2, sum divided by 2. Okay, so then what is the value calculated on the right hand? It is nothing but sum value is 15 divided by 2. Okay, sum is 15 divided by 2. Okay, so this division it performs. Now when you say both are integers, now see only this division part, right hand part first calculated first, remember friends. Okay, so when this division is carried out, what is the result here? You will get the result as only 7 only. This result will be 7 only, because both are integers. Result is also integer, 7 only you will get. Okay, so this 7 you are trying to store in a floating point variable. You are trying to store in a floating point variable. So when this is stored in the memory location, it will be stored as 7.0. It will be stored as a 7.0. And when you print average, when you print average here, average is equals to, when you print average value, say average is equals to percentage f. Now you have to use the format specifier, because avg data type is float. Based on the data type, you have to use these format specifiers. I am writing the format specifiers, write down somewhere in notes. Okay, so format specifiers I am writing here. Which format specifier is to be used for which data type? Okay, so format specifiers for integers, say integers, so you have to use percentage d. That means if your variable is integer type, you have to use percentage d. Okay, similarly for floating point type, float type or floating point numbers, okay, so you have to use percentage f. There should not be any space, friends. For floating point type, you have to use percentage f. Okay, so that's why when you print average, percentage f backslash n comma avg you have to use. Avg you have to use. Okay, so when you print, what is the output printed? We need to understand. Okay, so what is there in average? If you go back to memory location of average 7.0, whether it prints 7.0 or not, we will see. Okay, so let me go back to online C compiler. I am just moving to online C compiler. Okay, so I declared float as average, sum by 2 average, but this time I need to change this format specifier. Percentage f I have to say. Okay, small f, percentage small f we need to use here. Okay, so then backslash n double quotes close comma give the variable name average avg. Okay, so now I am running the code. Let us see what is 7.00000, 6 zeros it has printed. Okay, still we got a wrong answer, but no doubt answer is in floating point value. We got answer, we got in floating point number. Okay, but we didn't get the correct answer. Why? We need to understand still. Okay, so friends, see how the computer is performing the operations internally, that you need to understand. Okay, so I am explaining to you very carefully, because you are new to programming. Okay, so most of the students don't know internally how the calculations are performed on the computer. Okay, so that's why they get wrong output, but you are lucky enough, you are learning before you come to the college. Yes or no? Okay, right. Today anyhow we need to print the correct answer. We do that. We do that. Okay, so still if anybody is there who have not subscribed, do subscribe to the channel immediately. If you like the way we are proceeding, support me, encourage me by subscribing to my channel. Yes, friends, got? So still we got the answer as a 7.0060, okay? And please remember, I am coming back to this white screen. That means whenever we use percentage f format specifier, okay? So friends, remember here, whenever we use percentage f format specifier, percentage f, if you print using percentage f, okay, so it prints up to 6 digits after the decimal point, after the decimal, okay, so 6 digits will be printed, okay. So that's why we can see 6 zeros after the decimal point, 7.00000, that is how it is printed, okay. So remember, percentage f prints the output up to 6 decimal places, 7.0000, okay. So this is called precision, this is called a precision, up to 6 decimal places the output is printed, okay, right. So still you have in mind, we are not getting the correct output, we are not getting the correct output, okay. So how to get the correct output, okay. So don't worry, understand the concept. Now what we do is, I'll explain you how to get the correct output, okay. So we said there is a rule, we said here, just see here, this is the rule we said, yes or no? This is the rule we discussed. When both operands are integers, the result is also integer. That means for any operator, if both operands are integers, the result is also integer. Even though you declare the variable that doesn't AVG, you declared as average, floating point type. Yes or no? So here you declared the variable AVG as a floating point type, okay. So even though you declare it as floating point type, with that declaration computer won't see here, float average you declared, okay. So computer stores only, this is only you are telling to the compiler what type of data we need to store in the memory location, inside the memory location, what type of data the computer has to store, that information you are giving by using this data type, okay. But calculation wise, computer performs the same kind of calculation, integer by integer means result is integer, it gives the result integer, afterwards that integer will be converted to floating point type and stored as 7.00, okay, right. Now we modify the rule, and there is a another rule, we follow that rule to get the correct output, floating point type output if we want to get, then we use this rule, we follow this rule. Yeah, C language is common for every branch, okay. I will come back to a plus b by 2, what happens, that also I will come back, okay. When both operands are floating, no, okay, right. Yeah, I am coming back to that rule only, okay. Now see the rule, okay. So what is the rule? The second rule, when first rule is when both operands are integers, result is integer, okay. Second rule, when both operands are floating point type, then the result is a floating point type. Result is also a floating point type. This is second rule, okay? And even the third rule is if one of the operands, if one of the operands, if one of the operands is a floating point type, is a floating point type, then the result is a floating point type. Result is a floating point type, okay? So second and third rule we can combine and we can say that means for any operator, okay, for any operator plus, minus, star or this division forward slash, if both operands are one of the operands is a floating point type, then the result is also a floating point type, okay? So that means then it performs a floating point division, okay? If one of the operands is a floating point type, then it performs floating point division, then that division is called as a floating point division it performs, so that you will get a floating point result, floating point result you will get, okay? So how to modify our program so that we will get a floating point result, we will get a floating point result, okay? So I am going back to, that means otherwise let me just scroll down. What we can do is we can say like this, okay? So sum we calculated, no? Then we can write a equation like this, statement like this, AVG is equals to sum divided by 2 we said, okay? So instead of 2, now you write it as a 2.0, you write it as a 2.0. So then the denominator becomes a floating point number, denominator becomes a floating point number, okay? So denominator is a floating point number, that means sum is a integer number and denominator is a floating point number. So one operand is floating point operand, okay? So then the result is a floating point number, then it stores the floating point number in average. So in such case what happens? In such case what happens? It looks like to the computer like this, 15 divided by 2.0, 15 divided by 2.0, okay? So then what it does the division in this fashion, it does the division in this fashion, okay? Actually internally what happens, this will be converted, if one of the operand is floating point, then other operand is integer, both will be converted to floating point type only. That means this rule ultimately goes back converted into second type rule, third 15.0, internally the computer will do this, okay? So 15 will be converted to floating point type, that means 15 will become 15.0 divided by 2.0. Now both are floating point types, then result is a floating point number, okay? Then what the computer will do, it performs the division like this, okay? So 2 sevens are 14, yes or no, okay? So then this is 1, okay? So as usually how we perform mathematical calculation, that is how it performs, okay? So 2 5s are 10 here, 2 5s are 10 and the remainder is 0, okay? So now we got a floating point answer here, and this when it is stored in average, it will be stored as a 7.5, that means inside this memory for average, it will be stored as 7.5 and followed by 5 zeros, 1 2 3 4 5, it will be stored as 7.50000, like this it will be stored, and when you print you can see 7.500 printed on the screen, yes or no, okay? So just by saying, instead of saying 2, if you make it as 2.0, everything will be converted into floating point type and you will get the correct answer. Now you will get the correct answer, okay? So there is one question, yeah, only one main function you should use. In C programming there is a rule, only one main function you should use. Okay, so let us go back to our online compiler. Let us go back to our online compiler. Then we'll modify our program. Remaining everything same. Okay. So only thing is, instead of 2, now you say 2.0. Everything will be converted into floating point type. Remember, this AVG, variable AVG must be a floating point type variable, because right hand side after division you are getting a floating point number. So that's why you must catch that in a floating point variable only. You must catch that in a floating point variable only. If you declare this as integer, what happens? You can ask the question, that we will see afterwards. Okay. So first we will learn how to get the correct result. Okay, right. So I made 2 as 2.0. Now I run the code. Let us see what answer we will get. Now this time you can see average is equal to 7.500 I got. You can just see, I am just moving this up. Average is equal to 7.5000. Up to 6 decimal places it prints, I told, no? So now we got the correct answer. Now you give any kind of values to A and B, now you will get the correct answer. You will get the correct answer. Okay. So what happens if I give both even numbers? Okay. For example, say this I give as a 10. A value I give as 10, B value as 8. Okay. Then if I run this code, average I am calculating sum divided by 2.0. What output I will get? Come on friends, quickly send your answers in chat box. What is the output you are expecting if I run this code? I need answers in the chat box. And whoever watching this video afterwards, you can submit the answer in comment box below the video. There is a comment box. In the comment box you can send your answers. Okay, right. So answers, did I got answers? 9.0000. Okay, right. So very good. So many of you have given the answer as 9.000 up to 6 decimal places. Okay, 6 decimal places. Very good friends, very good students. Excellent. So percentage F we are printing by using percentage F, no? So output will be printed up to 6 decimal places. Let us cross check. Yes, I am getting in chat, YouTube chat also, Pranjal and Bhavika, Shiva, all of them has given correct answer, 9.0000. Okay. So let me run the code. Shall I run the code? Yes, I am running the code. Let us see whether my answer matches with your answer or not, or the computer answer matches your answer or not. Yes, it is matching. So average is equal to 9.0000 up to 6 decimal places it has printed. Okay friends. Okay. So this is how we can print the output on the screen. Okay. So you need to understand, if you declare a variable integer type and if you declare a variable floating point type, what is happening internally, how the values are stored, okay, how the calculations are performed. Especially in calculations you need to be very careful. Okay. So the data type of the variables you need to understand here. Okay. So I'll come back to white screen so that I can explain you the data types story. Okay, right. So now you can see here, if you write a number just like that, a number if you write, then computer knows, because it is a number without any decimal point, then it thinks it as a integer type. It considers it as a integer type. And if you write a number like this, then computer understands it is a floating point number. Then it considers its data type as a float type. It considers this number as a float type number. Okay. So, these distinctions are known to the C compiler. C compiler understands about these are called constant values. These are called constant values. Even for constants also data type is applied. What is the data type for this 15 means int type. What is the data type for this 3.54 means float type. Okay. So, if you declare the variables with the data type clearly, then that is well and good for the compiler. Int a comma something like x comma y comma like this if you declare, then whenever the memory is allocated, then computer or your compiler understands what type of data I have to store in this. By seeing this data type, it understands, oh, I have to store only integer numbers in this memory location. Okay. For constants, the data type is understood by the C compiler. Remember, friends. Okay, right. So, I was telling, if I declare average as a float integer type, what happens? Okay, you may be some doubt in your mind, you may be having some doubt in your mind, no. So, we will see that what happens, whether our computer gives the correct output or not. Okay. So, this one, okay, I am going back to my online compiler. Right. So, we will see here, if I declare this AVG as integer type, AVG as integer type, since AVG integer type, here the format specifier also I need to change here. Okay. So, percentage %d I have to use here. Okay. But remaining everything sum divided by 2.0 I have used here. AVG is equal to sum divided by 2.0 I have used here. Okay. So, what you are expecting? What you are expecting here? 9, okay, 9, okay, right, 9, yes, okay, right. So, shall we execute and see the answer, right? I am running the code. Now, see, average is equal to 9. Average is equal to 9, it has printed. Okay. So, what happened we need to understand here. What happened we need to understand here. Okay. So, I will go back to white screen. I will explain with the help of this screen so that you can understand it easily. Okay. Right. Now, see what happened, how the calculation is performed and how it is translated here. No doubt, when you have a statement like this, average is equals to sum divided by 2.0. Okay. So, it has calculated in the same way. One second, friends, I am just moving the screen up, right. No doubt, when this is the statement executed, okay, so it has performed this calculation. It has performed this calculation only, okay, and the result is 7.5 we got. Okay. So, result we got as this side. What is the answer from this? After calculation, what the computer will give? Computer will give it as a 7.5. Okay. But this assignment operator, this equal to symbol, okay, see the beauty of this equal to symbol, or you can see the magic of this equal to symbol. See here. Okay. Left hand side, AVG is now integer type, its data type is integer, and right hand side you have a floating point number. What this equal to symbol will do is, it will convert this floating point type into this integer. That means, whatever decimal point value is there, that is truncated, that is not supplied to the variable. Okay. So, it truncates this decimal point value, and only this integer part will be stored into this variable average, because it is a integer type. Only this integer part, this is called integer part and this is called decimal part. Only this integer part will be stored into this variable average. Okay. So, that is why in the variable AVG only 7 will be stored, and when you print this on the screen, it goes to this memory location. it goes to this memory location, and you can see 7 printed on the screen. Okay, so that's why we are getting this 7. It is not just because of a percentage d. Remember friends, it is 7 stored inside the memory location. Okay, so just I'll show on the online compiler. Okay, so you can see average is equal, sorry, here I am using 1098, no. Okay, so 1098 means 18 even for this case also, even for this case. Okay, I'll show you. For this case it is 7 and 8. If you take 7.5, only 7 will be stored into avg here. Okay, so if I run the code, now you can see average is equal to 7 we will get. That means the decimal part is truncated and only integer part will be stored into the variable. Integer part will be stored into variable because the variable is integer type, no. So computer stores only that integer type into the variable. Okay, 9 everyone correct, 9 right. Excellent students, excellent. Okay, right. So now you have a task, okay, so you need to perform this task. Having known all these things, okay, so now you start writing a program. Okay, so what is your task? Write a program, take down this, write a program to find area and perimeter, of a circle, area and perimeter of a circle. This program you work out, friends. Okay, so you need to understand what type of data is used in the problem. Accordingly you have to declare the data type of the variables. Okay, in real time area perimeter calculations, what type of data generally will be generated. Based on that you have to assume the data type of the variables. Okay, so hope you enjoyed the class. Yes or no? Hope enjoyed the online session, YouTube session. Everyone enjoyed online YouTube session. Okay, so some of you still, if you are not watching online, okay, so I'll give you 2 minutes of time just to switch to YouTube, friends. Just check out on YouTube how it is appearing on YouTube. All of you just once you check out in YouTube how it is appearing in YouTube live session. Remaining students also, yeah, quickly, because you will get that look and feel. How it is appearing on the YouTube live session. Okay, still okay, students are moving. Okay, so I can see here some of you joined. Very good students, very good. Let them Abhinav, let them watch on the YouTube. Let them, some of them are still on Zoom only. Okay, so they have not migrated to YouTube. Let them watch on the YouTube. Okay, so another 2 minutes will bear, so that everyone can switch to YouTube live and they can see how the screen is visible. Yes, still so only 30 members switched. What about others? 60 members are there. Just open YouTube and just check out on the YouTube. Is it excellent? Thank you, Pranjal. Thank you for your feedback. Nagashiva also, thank you. Very good. Sanju, thank you. Only 30 members. Still, I want all the 60 members to come on to YouTube. Okay, so these are all the technology features you need to understand and you need to learn. Thank you, Study Hub. And another important announcement, this video will be available in my channel. You can watch this video if you have any doubts. At any point of time, you can watch the video. Wherever you have doubt, pause the video, get the concepts. Okay, so the video is available. That's why I started this live session, so that I can record the video and it is available to you. Some of you may miss some concepts during the session. Okay, so for them it is very easy. You can go back to the video and watch the video once again. Okay, so still 39 members only joined. What about others? 40 members still joining. Okay, thank you, Rushikesh. Hari Krishna, thank you. Deepak, thank you. Rajkumar, thank you. Maheshwaram, thank you. Banni Maheshwaram. Shiva, thank you everyone for your support and feedback. Akshay, thank you. Right, you can log out from Zoom and you can just switch back to YouTube. You can watch on the YouTube. Okay, so shall I call it a day? Shall I call it a day? Right? Shall I call it a day? Okay, right. So thank you, students. Thank you, one and all. I am closing the session for everyone.